Okay, let's talk about something you've probably heard at a barbecue, or maybe from a well-meaning uncle. If you get a kidney stone, just chug a few beers to flush it out. Sounds simple, right? But is there any truth to this old wives' tale? Well, we're about to put that idea under the microscope and see what science really has to say.
Right, this is the big question. It seems to make a little bit of sense on the surface, doesn't it? I mean, beer makes you pee more, so it's got to be flushing something out. But today we're going to break down exactly why that logic is not just a little off, but could actually make your situation a whole lot worse.
So this is the central claim, the heart of the myth, the idea that more urine equals a cleaner system. And while it sounds plausible, that's where the logic totally breaks down when you look at what's really going on inside your body.
So, before we can properly bust this myth, we've got to understand the enemy. What even are kidney stones? Why do they show up in the first place? Understanding the problem is the first step to figuring out why beer is absolutely not the solution.
Okay, so here's the deal. The fancy medical term is nephrolithiasis, but all it really means is that these are little solid crystals made of minerals and salts. They form when your urine gets too concentrated, basically too much waste and not enough water to dissolve it all. And they can be tiny, like a grain of sand, or, believe it or not, as big as a golf ball. And anyone who's had one will tell you the pain is just next level.
Now, here's something that's really important to know. Not all stones are the same. Check this out. About 75%, a huge majority, are made of a compound called calcium oxalate. I want you to burn that name into your brain, oxalate, because it is going to be a major player in this story in just a minute.
All right, let's get to it. The main event. Why is the beer flushing idea a total myth? Well, the science is crystal clear, and it really boils down to three huge problems. You can think of them as three strikes, and when it comes to your kidneys, beer's out.
So let's talk about strike one. This is the big one, and it flies right in the face of that whole flushing idea. It all comes down to one simple word: dehydration.
So yeah, beer makes you urinate more, but it's a total trick. You see, alcohol messes with a key hormone in your brain. It's called ADH, or antidiuretic hormone. It basically turns off the signal that tells your body to hold on to water. The result? You end up expelling way more liquid than you're taking in. This leads to dehydration, which makes your urine more concentrated, and that creates the absolute perfect breeding ground for stones to form. So it does the exact opposite of what you need.
Okay, now for strike two. This isn't just about what beer forces out of your body. It's also about what it puts into it. Beer is just packed with these compounds called purines. They come from the yeast and hops. Well, your body breaks those purines down into uric acid. Now remember that chart we just looked at? That second most common type of stone? High uric acid levels directly cause those uric acid stones, and it also makes your whole system more acidic, which just encourages all the other types of stones to form too. It's a double whammy.
And here we go, the final nail in the coffin. Strike three. And this one connects directly back to that specific type of stone I told you to remember. Remember that word I told you to burn into your brain? Oxalate? Well, guess what the main ingredients in beer, like malt, barley, and hops, are full of? You got it, oxalates. So when 75% of all kidney stones are calcium oxalate stones, drinking beer is literally like pouring gasoline on a fire. You're consuming the very building blocks of the most common kidney stone out there.
Okay, so if beer is obviously the villain of this story, who's the hero? Well, the great news is that the real scientifically proven solution is incredibly simple. It's cheap, and it's available to literally everyone.
Just look at this. This slide says it all. In a head-to-head battle, it's not even a contest. Water, super hydrating. Beer, dehydrating. Water dilutes uric acid and has zero, zilch, nada, oxalates. And here's the kicker. Studies show that simply drinking enough water can help you pass small stones and slash your risk of getting future ones by more than 50%. In every single category that matters for your kidneys, water is the undisputed champion.
And hey, if you want to give that water a little superpower, here's its trusty sidekick: lemon juice. Lemons are loaded with something called citrate. Citrate is amazing. It's a natural inhibitor that actually stops calcium oxalate crystals from forming and sticking together in the first place. So a little squeeze of lemon in your water can make a huge difference.
Okay, so we've busted the myth, we've crowned the real champion. Now let's put it all together. Let's build a simple, no-nonsense playbook you can actually use to protect your kidneys. Here they are, 6 proven, doctor-recommended strategies.
Number 1 is the big one:
Aim for 2.5 to 3 liters of water every single day. Go ahead and add that lemon juice. And you really got to watch your salt intake. Sodium makes your kidneys push out more calcium, which is bad news. And here's one that surprises people. Get enough calcium from your food. We'll get to that in a sec. And finally, easing up on animal protein and keeping a healthy weight are also huge. These right here are the real home remedies that actually work.
And yeah, speaking of tips, let's bust one more myth while we're at it. You've probably heard that if you get calcium stones, you should avoid dairy. That is completely backward. Calcium from food, think milk, yogurt, cheese, is your friend. It actually binds to those nasty oxalates in your gut and prevents them from ever getting to your kidneys. So please, don't skip the dairy.
And finally, this is so important. This is not medical advice, but it's crucial information. While prevention is great, some situations are flat-out medical emergencies. If you get any of these symptoms, we're talking severe pain you can't handle, blood in your urine, a fever and chills along with the pain, or if you just can't stop vomiting, do not try to tough it out at home. That's your signal to get immediate medical help.
So, there you have it. The next time you're at a party and someone offers up that helpful tip about beer for kidney stones, you'll know the real science. The answer isn't at the bottom of a bottle of beer, it's in a simple glass of water. Which really just leaves one question, right? Are you drinking what your kidneys actually need? Thanks for tuning in.